Hi, good afternoon, guys. Today I have received a request for about how to write a long question in microbiology. So, for a long question nowadays, what happens is many of the exams they give a case-based scenario. Okay, so and if you have read well, they actually give us a case which is fairly easy to diagnose. They won't give you a case which is very difficult to diagnose because most of the students they have to answer this. So for example, how to write this, I will give you an example. Suppose you have got a case in which a 50-year-old man presented with cough with blood tinged sputum for last 3 months. He has weight loss, and when an X-ray is done, there is an apical lobe infiltrate and cavity. So probably it is a case of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So if you have to write a answer like this, you have to give a diagnosis first, and then the question is probably asked about its pathogenesis and morphology of the organism, and important biochemical reactions, and at end the most mark fetching part is about the lab diagnosis. So in any long case like this, you have to write about suppose first you start with the morphology of the organism. So in Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the morphology is about, it is a bacilli which is acid fast in diagnosis. So if you do a ZN stain, it looks acid fast. You can give the dimensions of the organism and whether it is aerobic or not, and what is its culture media in which it goes in a lab, and then how to identify. For the identification you have to write only important biochemical reactions, so that you can write. And then comes pathogenesis part. In the pathogenesis, you have to write about how the infection gets transmitted. So how does a person gets infected? So in this case, the person gets infected most commonly by getting in contact with an already known or unknown patient who is tuberculosis, who is having tuberculosis, and he gets infected by the droplet infection. Okay, so that you can write. And in pathogenesis part, you have to write how the organism is actually causing an infection, its virulence, and in this case Mycobacterium tuberculosis, in a case of pulmonary TB, it mediates a type 4 type of hypersensitivity. How it causes a granulomatous reaction, what is primary tuberculosis, what is a secondary tuberculosis. So this all comes in the pathogenesis part. Now comes the most important part, that is the lab diagnosis. So in the lab diagnosis, you have to approach it by a method. So in all lab diagnosis, you have to mention how do you actually collect a sample. So if it is a case of pulmonary tuberculosis, the most proper or the most easiest sample to collect, or the most common sample to collect, is a sputum. But apart from sputum, you can also collect bronchoalveolar lavage and like this. Then it has to be transported to the lab as soon as possible, or if it is getting late, then at what degree of temperature it should be stored, that you should mention, and in which container it should be collected. So if it is a sputum sample, it has to be collected in a sterile universal container. Then when it reaches lab, the first test you see is whether it is a proper sputum or saliva. If it is sputum, it will be very thick and mucoid. If it is saliva, then it will be watery. Okay, very thick. It will be very thin and watery. So if it is saliva, then you have to reject it. You have to only process a proper sputum sample. So after that, if the sample is proper, you do a Gram and ZN stain. But if it is a case of probable case of Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Gram is not of much help. So you have to do a ZN stain, that is Ziehl-Neelsen stain. So you can see acid fast bacilli if you do a ZN stain. Okay, so acid fast bacilli means the red color ka bacilli which will be beaded in a bluish color ka background. So if it is positive, then you have to give a classification under the INTCP guidelines, that is Revised National Tuberculosis Control Program. So it depends on how much bacilli you see in fields, so you can grade it as a INTCP. You can grade it according to INTCP guidelines. Then you have to culture it, okay, because sometimes there are many bacilli which can be acid fast, but they may not be Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and so you have to culture it. Culture can be of two types broadly. It can be solid culture or it can be liquid culture. Solid culture you have to do on a LJ media, that is Lowenstein Jensen media. The disadvantage of LJ media is the organism takes quite a long time to grow. That means it may take about 2 to 8 weeks. So by that time the patient is may not be treated, or he continues to spread the infection in the community. So to negate that, you can do liquid cultures also, which is widely available in many labs. So in liquid culture, the organism or the growth comes in about 10 days. Okay. So liquid culture, there are many examples of liquid culture. One of the example is Middlebrooks media. So that is how you can culture the organism. But all this test, it takes a lot of time. At least 10 days it takes. So, and nowadays, and that is only for growing the organism. Then if you want to do a antibiotic sensitivity testing, it will further take that many days, and so you cannot wait for that. So apart from this, there are various methods or molecular methods by which you get a result about the patient is having tuberculosis or not in about 2 to 4 hours. So there is a method called a CBNAT, that is cartridge based nucleic acid amplification test, in which it gives a result in about 2 hours, and it also tells whether the isolate is MDR or XDR, etc. So at least MDR it will tell it is. So by that you can guide the treatment. And apart from CBNAT, the other molecular methods also, simple PCRs and line probe assay, that is also called as LIPA, and normal PCR. So these are the techniques in which you can actually diagnose a case of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So whenever you are writing an answer, you just break it into different headings. First is the diagnosis, morphology of the organism, the culture media in which it will grow, the biochemical characters, and then you can write slightly about pathogenesis, and then at last the lab diagnosis. And if you have time, you can also write about the treatment part. So if they have asked, and sometimes prophylaxis is also asked. So in prophylaxis, in this you can also write about the BCG vaccination and the durations and the dose in which it is given. And I forgot to add, in diagnosis you can add immunodiagnosis, in which the example is Montauk's test, though of doubtful value, but still you can, in your answer you can write about Montauk's test. And so that is how you approach the long question. So this is about tuberculosis. So if you suggest me some other long questions, I can make a video on that. Thank you very much. If you like my channel, please subscribe and ask others to subscribe also. It will give me a tremendous leave it. Thank you.